Auto runs through it, we do it.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. And nice looking, very beautiful Thursday morning.
Oh, yeah.
And the good news is that storm is probably not going to really affect us at all. That thing called Chantel is now a tropical wave, right?
Yeah.
Robert, I don't know if you would, you've known me for a long time, but I bet you when somebody asks you about me, I bet the one thing you never tell them is that I'm an addict. I bet you never say, Larry's an addict.
Yeah, I never use that word with you.
I bet you don't use that. Now, I used to smoke cigars, and I would say, I don't know, it was addiction or habit, I don't know what it was, but I can tell you this, that when I finally quit, and it's been now 5-6 years, maybe even more than that, since I even picked up a cigar, right? But I remember trying to quit many, many times before that, and it was the cravings. It's odd, isn't it, that something that has nothing to do with nutrition would give you a craving?
Yeah.
You would think your body would only crave something nutritious, right? Obviously not, since we all understand what smoking does to us. And it's not until you stop dead in its tracks, right, that you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Finally kick it. Okay. Now, that would apply to any illicit drugs. But what about food? How do you can't stop food dead in its tracks, right? But maybe certain foods you can, and that's why I'm all ears. Lisa Lynn has been with us before, and I think I know where we're going with her today. I can't wait to hear, because I think she's going to give me some information that'll actually be practical and usable for me personally. And we're in good company. She is the personal trainer of Martha Stewart, so drop a name right there. She's featured regularly on Dr. Oz, another name we can drop. She contributes to Fox News and basically helps out people with their nutritional needs and is a fitness expert. She is on the air today to speak about the 3-carb intervention techniques that can recalibrate our minds and our bodies from unwanted food cravings within 24 hours.
I'm all ears with this one because I had a donut before.
There was a donut sitting, yes.
Yeah.
There were donuts sitting outside the studio right now. And it's just, it's a nice thing. People say, we should do, they did a nice thing for us, we should give them some donuts.
Yeah.
And then they sit there and you go, nah. Until about 4 in the afternoon or 10 in the morning, or whatever it is. 10 in the morning right now. Lisa Lynn, good morning, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me. And I have to say, hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a food addict, not just carbs, food.
You are?
Yes, I am. And
Really?
It's actually what got me into this business is I struggled, I think, worse than anybody I've ever worked with.
Okay. Really? So now...
Yeah.
But now if we apply the word addict to ourselves, and I did it to me...
Yeah, you nailed it, by the way. How do you know you're an addict? You can't quit.
But I don't want to say addict because, I don't know. I do want to say...
It's a tough word.
I do want to say addict. I don't want to say food because you can't give up food. How do you...
No, and you know what? You brought up a really good point. In my opinion, giving up anything is hard. I don't like to be told I can't do anything.
Right.
But giving up things like this, like food, that you need to sustain life. If you need to give up drinking, you quit. You don't drink alcohol.
That's it.
You
I know.
don't need cigars to live, but you do need to eat to live, and that's where it's very difficult.
Right. Now, I'm going to tell you just a little thing that maybe gave us a little hint about what you're going to talk about. A couple of years ago, Robin and I had a gig in New York City, and we were so excited about it. So we said, we got to slim down. So we had nothing but salads, and we were kind of going overboard a little bit. But the one thing we didn't have was bread. We said, no more bread. All of a sudden, we didn't even have a craving for bread.
You nailed it.
And
no one wants to accept that, but the truth is, you're not going to be deprived and feel worse. You're trading that slice of bread for a totally new life, and not just that, a happier life. I'm so much happier not eating that. I was depressed and the whole 9 yards. We never feel good when we're doing something we know isn't good or right for us.
Right. So, okay. So, well, the
I'm
rest of
bringing you hope, by the way. You can get addicted to good exercise and healthy eating.
Well, that's a good point. You can become addicted to something healthy and change your habit. All right, so just let me compare it to cigars again, because with cigars, if you were talking to me 3 days after I quit, I would still be thinking about it. So how do you quit something in 24 hours?
Well, you nailed it. Cold turkey works, especially if you're an addict. You have to say, I'm throwing them out and I'm not touching them, and that's it. And the truth is, cold turkey works on the spot right now. You don't wait till tomorrow. You don't wait until the cookies are gone in your house. You go home, you throw them out, flush them down the toilet, rather, and you start fresh right there in that moment.
Okay, and I love what you're saying, and I think that's probably my way. That's what I should do, because I think that's my personality type. However, I'm going to tell you this. Do you know John Bastow or any of the other nutrition fitness guys?
Yep.
Okay, well, when you ask him this question, he says, I don't want to tell you to take out anything. I want you to be moderate. So
you know what? That's a great point. He clearly is not a food addict, and the thing that makes me different from all the other gurus out there is that I am, and once you're an addict, you're always an addict. I am a food addict, and I know what it's like to fight with an Oreo. People who say don't take it out never struggle. They're usually male. People who, like my husband's like that. You say, don't eat bread. He gives it up. There's no complaint. He's not an addict at all, so nothing is out of his life. Pasta, bread. For me, I can't touch those because the minute I taste them, I can't stop. I want it the next day, the next meal, and so on.
That's why I don't smoke cigars, because I thought, you know what, I'll reserve the right to have one once in a while, but then I thought, wait a minute, I know me better than that. One will become 100, you know?
You see, I like you. You're honest, and it takes that brutal honesty. The other reason I go out, and I'm firm about saying this, if you study to statistics, this is what works all the time. That little bit, like trying to be a little bit pregnant, it doesn't work.
That's right. It's all or nothing.
I saw a lady who was a little bit
and it's not my
pregnant.
opinion, it's factual, so I like to go with the stuff that works.
Okay,
that's right.
All right. So that means we're today going to hear something. Are you going to tell us what to cut out totally? Like when you say carbs, aren't some carbs good?
You know what? No, and that's where I'm finding. That's why America's getting more obese by the day. Is I love Dr. Oz, and I joke about this with him. I'm like, you're not a food addict, so leave this stuff to me, because he can eat whatever he wants. You cannot tell a food addict they can eat avocado, nuts, cheese, because guess what? We don't have a little bit. We have a little bit while we're putting it on the plate, and no one counts it, and we're in total snack denial.
That's right.
So it's not that those foods are bad. They're very good, but they don't work for weight loss, because when you tell that to a food addict, and I was one, nobody ever asked me how big my bowl of oatmeal was.
Oh.
Yeah, you should see mine.
Great food, by the way, but I was having 6 servings, and I didn't know it.
Yeah, well, I'm that way, too. If I love Life cereal, Life.
Yeah. The box is the serving, right?
The box is exactly right, yes. And they are, I swear they're smaller now than they used to be.
I think so. Same price.
Yeah. To me, anyway. See, I love addicts, by the way. They tend to be the people with the best personality, so I accept that term now. It took me about 10 years to be proud of it. I'm proud of that term.
All right, here's the one thing, and I know this might sound like you're going to say, well, really, who am I talking to? Because he's asking this question. But define a carb. I'm a little bit confused. I mean, is it the sugar? Is it the flour? What is the carb?
A carbohydrate is simply a term for a food that's really not a protein, to keep it simple. And that's anything from bread, rice, pasta, oatmeal, and it can also mean fruit, which kind of brings me to my first point. Some people have to eliminate fruit, but I'm actually going to tell you to get up and start your day with a green apple. Instead of wondering what you should eat, tell yourself to eat a green apple, because green apples are lower in blood sugars. They are the miracle fruit, by the way, and they have a substance in them that shuts off the hunger hormone. And the reason I'm telling you to start your day off that way is if you kill the cravings before they begin, you're not fighting with them all day long.
Well, what is a green apple? I mean, just an apple that's not ripe?
Yeah. Tiny little green apple that fits in the palm of your hand or the size of a tennis ball.
Okay.
Oh, okay. My mom has a great formula for the grocery store when she goes. She just shops the perimeter.
Right,
she doesn't like going on anything on the inside. She shops the perimeter, and then she's happy, and she's able to maintain her weight.
Better.
Robin's mom is in great shape.
I bet. See? Listen to her.
And she's what, 80?
Yeah.
But she's not in the area right now,
No.
so she can't hear me tell people.
No, she's 500 miles away, so you're safe.
Oh, Mom. And so you ask, what is a carb? Well, to be honest, you can binge on just about anything. So any food that you can't portion control usually is a carbohydrate. But this next little intervention technique, which is one of my favorites and I never leave home without it, it's called Phase 2 white kidney bean extract. And it's not just any white bean extract. It's a really high quality. I've actually put this in my supplements now because you're guaranteed to fall when it comes to food, unlike cigars. And so one of the things I do with my clients is send them home with a bottle. One, take it at lunch to keep your blood sugar balanced, so that balance the blood sugar, eliminate the cravings. And then second, when you fall and you're guaranteed to fall, take this 30 minutes before a meal, and it literally paralyzes. It's clinically shown, by the way, to paralyze the enzymes that digest starch so that the carbs cannot be broken down to sugar.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, this
and
is a white bean?
Even better, though. One capsule can block 65% of unwanted carbs, and there's no bellyache coming from this.
Okay, now, whenever I hear the word extract, I always wonder why it has to be why couldn't I just go get some white beans?
Well, you'd eat about 50 bowls, and then you'd have to eat 50,000 extra calories, and the whole thing is about calorie reduction. But the one thing that I love about this, too, it's like when you fall, it's like you've got a safety net under you, and then it removes the guilt and the shame, which actually makes you eat more in the long run.
Really?
Yep. Magical stuff.
Is that good?
Yep. There's a lot of people that have to schmooze and eat out in the real world. Like my pastor struggles with his weight. He's always being invited to dinner. It always has carbs. Well, guess what? He's one of us. Mm-hmm. So I put this stuff in his hands.
Yeah, pastors and radio personalities seem to have this issue. Yeah.
Right.
Well, now,
totally.
how about exercise in conjunction with getting rid of some of the carbs? Could we overdo it with the exercise?
Need that because the exercise lists the endorphins that we turn to food to do. Mm-hmm. And that's crucial for me. The exercise portion, along with this other stuff, worked because I am prone to depression, and I need the endorphin lift. And the only thing I ever turned to my whole life until I was about 20 was food. And it just needed to be, when one didn't work, I needed more. And
really?
supersize became a snack for me.
Where are you calling from, Lisa? Where are you?
Norwalk, Connecticut.
Oh, you're in Connecticut. Okay.
Yep.
So you're about an hour and a half away from lunch. What are you having for lunch?
Lunch. I had lunch. I'm having it now. I get up early.
Why'd you get? Okay. What are you having?
I usually have what I had left over for dinner last night, like a piece of salmon or tuna and some broccoli. And the good news is I'm busy all day, so I don't have time to overeat. And
That sounds
that's a
good.
thing.
Tuna and broccoli.
Mm-hmm. I love it, by the way.
But it's
what
not
I've learned is it doesn't matter. Like, I still feed myself with, my feelings with food, but I just change what's on the other end of the fork.
But you don't have a tuna fish sandwich.
No more mayonnaise for this girl.
No mayonnaise?
No.
No bread?
No.
Just tuna?
No bread. By the way, so anything you love, you can wrap up in romaine leaves, and if one isn't thick enough, roll two.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good idea.
But
no
you,
mayonnaise.
Delicious.
No, not even the healthy mayonnaise?
No, and one of the reasons, sometimes I actually will use a little bit of that, or I'm a big lean, clean salad dressing girl, so it might be lime dressing today, it could be mustard tomorrow, and yet once in a blue moon a little mayonnaise, but I have a hard time portion controlling
But
that.
mustard is an easy one, because there's no calories in mustard, right?
Yeah, mustard and horseradish.
Horseradish. Isn't that primarily mayonnaise?
My husband's Jewish. It's a good food. A lot of it isn't. It's just crushed, but it adds a little zing to it.
Horseradish is a Jewish food?
Yeah, a little bit. It's known to be used in their culture, and guess what? That's how they make their awesome tuna salad.
I didn't know
Wow.
that. Oh, I didn't know that. Really? Okay.
Now, you had brought up that you had to fight depression while you were growing up.
Yeah.
And that must be one of the major reasons a person will just constantly eat, because there's something else going on with them, but they don't recognize that's something else. So you're bringing that to the forefront.
Yeah, and you know what? I still struggle with it. So many people say you're so positive, but it's a fight for me every day. And my solution is get up and hit that treadmill, whether I want to or not. Mm-hmm. Or be totally medicated the rest of my life and have new symptoms. And I choose to visit with the treadmill, and I pray in the morning and do that kind of stuff. And I had no clue how much that had to do with my cravings. I heard all the gurus saying, it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. But I didn't really get that.
Oh, but now you do, right?
Oh, I totally get it. And food is, like my husband, it's not funny, but I'll trade food for him. I just live for it. I'm Italian, and that hasn't changed, but I've learned.
Food for him.
Don't say you can't eat this. Focus on what you can eat.
Do you call him honey? Do you use the sweetener words like honey, sugar? Do you call him those things?
No, only when I have a list for him to do.
And why do you have a treadmill? Why do you have a treadmill? You live in Connecticut. Isn't that a beautiful place to walk around?
It is, but it's cold, and I get up really early. It's dark, and so I can't have any excuses for hitting the treadmill. I get up 7 days every single solitary day of the week, not even for what it does for my body, but because it lifts those endorphins that affect our brain.
So how long have you been this way? I mean, it sounds like you've got it under control. How long have you had it?
Since I was 2 years old.
2?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you never had you never had a weight issue?
Oh, yeah. I was 40 pounds overweight, and I battled it. I mean, literally since I was 2, I have a picture of me. I'm crawling, not even walking yet, and I'm in the refrigerator, and I have icing all over my face.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like perched on the bottom shelf, and I did that my whole life.
Well, we think that's cute as parents. We say, oh, look at that.
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Cute.
How do you help people get their health under control when they have diabetes or thyroid problems?
Same thing. Half the people in our country right now have diabetes because they don't want to put the bread and the pasta down, and they have to just accept that what we think is a portion and what really is are two totally different things, and simply adhere to the measuring cup. And if you can't, you got to take it out of your life.
So no bread is good at all. That healthy bread that Arnold Palmer, whatever that stuff is called.
I don't think so. I've taken it out of my Give Us This Day Our Daily, and I removed it. No bread in my session.
Give me this day our daily.
Period. I just keep going. But you know what? I feel better. It was in the beginning. I never thought I would get past a dinner table going out to a restaurant and not have it call my name, and I could care less now. That takes time, but I think if I'm going to give any of your listeners any kind of hope, it's that if I can do it, and I was 2 and lived for it, anybody can do it. It's really just a decision to let go and do the right thing.
Did you ever get into Manhattan at all?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever see those pretzel vendors?
Oh, yeah.
Do you get any?
No, my kids do.
So would that be a no-no for you? I mean, pretzels is it's the same thing as bread, right?
Yeah. Pretzels are like the devil in sheep's clothing because, they're fat-free, but they're refined flour. There's no fiber, and how can you eat just one?
Yeah, no, I know. It's one of my weaknesses too.
Yeah.
There was a study that hit the news this morning about the artificial sweeteners in diet drinks and things like that. How now these scientists are saying they're not good for you. What do you think?
But you know who's hosting all those studies? The sugar company.
Oh, really?
And
okay. Well, I don't got to worry
then. I'm not pro or con against the sweeteners, but I will tell you, as a food addict, like sometimes if I have to have a little bit, that affects me differently than drinking a sugar beverage.
So what do you drink? Do you drink just water or?
Water with lemon and sometimes some seltzer, Perrier. Or the next thing I'm going to talk about, I do love coffee, caffeinated, decaffeinated, both, but I'm a big one for taking my complete protein shake, mixing it with ice and coffee, and making like a mochaccino.
Oh, there you go. So there's alternatives.
There's a difference. There's no sugar, and the other thing that actually really changed my life was having a protein shake every day of my life, guaranteed that my body and my brain got the nutrients that it needed. And when it did, it boosted those endorphins and serotonin, and I felt better. I didn't want to eat poorly.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Whenever we look at like the Travel Channel, they go to Paris, right? And they always comment. Almost all of the American Travel Channel people go to Paris, and they have this big plate of food, or not big plate of food, but they have a plate of food, and it always has a big piece of bread on it. That's what I'm getting at. And they will always say, in America, we don't eat, we're trying to stay away from bread because it gets us fat, but these guys are eating bread left and right.
Yeah, but they eat such smaller. Like, I just saw a recent photo of what they look like, the serving sizes look like in Paris compared to here are tiny, and they walk all day.
Oh, there you go.
So we got to walk and eat a tiny thing.
Yeah.
But the French bread is so gigantic.
Yeah.
Totally. It kills me when we're over here. I have a teenager, and she'll order normal teenage food. And let's say she gets a turkey burger. She does do that. It comes with bread and French fries, and they give her bread on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
where's this?
Anywhere you go. Let's say it's Outback Steakhouse. You're traveling. You're on the road. You don't want to do McDonald's. You do the lesser of evils. But it's shocking that think of how many carbs are there.
All right. So we should just cut out. I mean, if you can live like John Bastow or Dr. Oz, and do it in moderation, then good for you. But if you can't, what you're saying is there's two types of us. There's those type, and then there's me and you.
Yep.
I don't know which type Robin is. I think Robin is more moderate. She could moderate.
Yeah, and we balance each other, which is good, but be honest with yourself, and if you can't decide, start making a list of what you eat every day and put the calories next to it. See what it's costing you. And if you're seeing, fruits and vegetables 200 a day, and the carb section is at 1,000, you see you're out of balance there.
$1,000?
1,000 calories.
Calories. Okay. What's that?
That'll tell you, look, you're not. It really should be, I think, 70-30, 3/4 fruits and vegetables, 30% protein, and then add the fluffy calories for carbs as a dessert. But count them because we're in denial about it and we're emotional, so we're not going to admit that to ourselves.
There you go.
Lisa Lynn is our guest, and we do have a phone call, so I want to go to the phone, but just no, we don't. They gave up. Lisa is on the phone to help us get in shape, right?
Totally.
That's what you do. It's called Lynn Fit Nutrition is your business, right?
Correct.
Is that you? Are you the blonde lady? I hate to refer to you as
That's me.
That's you. Well, you look great.
Yeah.
You look
It's
fabulous.
amazing what bells and whistles can do.
What do you think about those pick-me-up energy drinks that they're advertising on TV?
I hate them. I think like the protein shake I just gave to you, and in fact I did that on Dr. Oz. It's one of the best, but better. It lifts you and keeps you sustained with good nutrition, where if you're really tired and you're jacking yourself up with these kind of things, you're setting yourself up for another crash.
Oh, there you go.
Well, and that was the experience we had a couple of years ago. Like I said, in preparing for the gig in New York, we kind of stayed away from it, and without unwittingly, we did exactly what you're talking about. But the problem is, we came back from New York back to normal.
Yeah.
We didn't have a goal, and I think that's where we fell short.
Yeah. So
Totally. Totally.
So
and I think anytime you're reaching outside, and that's a good point, what is an addiction? Any outside thing you're grabbing to soothe an internal state is an addiction.
Oh, I like that.
And I think those are very addicting. It makes me sick to see people grabbing these things.
All right, let me take a phone call. It sounds like we got a little echo there. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, sorry I got disconnected earlier.
That's okay.
My wife and I, we used to have a lot of medical issues, and we tried everything trying to figure out what in the world was the problem. We found out that we both have a gluten allergy, and at first they told us to stay away from breads, but when we looked at all the foods that are available, I mean, my goodness, there was nothing for us to really eat.
Right.
So we did a lot more research, and there is a product out there that is gluten-free that it's called Better Batter. A lady that had a gluten allergy did that. She found that she can make flour products using other additives instead of just regular flour. Right. And we tried it ourselves, and the breads and the other stuff that are available out there now, that we can eat normal foods now, but yet they're a lot healthier for us.
Wow.
So,
well, good for you.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know there are things to find to help that are out. They don't taste like cardboard.
Nice.
Totally.
Right.
And you adapt, by the way. And I actually think people could keep it really simple because they panic that there's no bread. Well, what about proteins and vegetables and focusing your efforts there? And the bread is the condiment. You could worry about that stuff later. No one's starving in America.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
All right. Well, well, let's recap real quickly. So we're going to cut out the breads and the pastas, and that includes what? Bagels and pretzels?
Oh yeah. Muffins, croissants.
Oh, man. Donuts.
It's a happier life I'm giving you, though.
And we're going to replace the sandwich bread with lettuce.
Yep.
Well, that sounds all right.
Anything you put pasta, like I have spaghetti and meatballs every Wednesday night.
Spaghetti.
But my spaghetti is butternut squash or broccoli, and I put the turkey meatballs on top. To be honest, I don't miss the pasta at all, or how I felt after eating that wheat.
What the
None
heck?
of us really need.
What do you mean? You make eggplant into pizza or something?
Yeah, exactly. I also make eggplant or portobello mushrooms into pizzas.
Oh, those are good.
Okay.
So you got to get creative, not complicated. If
What
you
about
notice,
cheese?
Every suggestion was a vegetable, not a product to buy.
Do you eat cheese?
No, a little bit. Little Parmesan cheese.
Are you Smart Fitness 57?
No.
No, okay. Well, it says on my thing, Smart 57 is following you. I thought maybe it was a coincidence here. Okay. All right. I just gave Smart Fitness 57 a plug there.
Yeah.
Lynn is LynFit. Lisa Lynn is LynFit. And let's see, we need some website information. Oh, and the bean extract that you talked about earlier.
Everybody needs to have this because carb addicts tend to have imbalanced blood sugar, and you can go to lynfit.com.
Okay, and that's what we find out. So Lynn
and anybody has questions, I live to help people because I've been there. I know what it's like, and it's my pleasure to help people get over that hurdle.
All right, it's one N in Lynn.
Correct.
So lynfit.com, yep. And I guess that's it. And do you have some video programs and stuff? I'm looking at your website.
I do have a YouTube page loaded, and lots of them actually on this topic.
All right, I'm going to your site. I'm
happy to help.
I'll be your friend or whatever. I'll be your friend, whatever you do. Do you have a Facebook and all that?
Yes, I do. Yep, I tweet.
All right, I tweet.
Sometimes when I'm going and eating something.
I don't get the whole tweeting thing, but I am signed up for that.
Me neither, but I'm trying to do the tweeting and everything.
Lynn, thank you for being on the air with us again. I mean, Lisa, thank you for being on the air with us again. Always fun to talk to you.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. We'll take a little break. Be right back.
Thanks. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own.